With every adventure, a real story is told. From the middle of Lake Superior to inland waters and beyond. Join us as we capture imagery through a different lens. The story isn't about us. We're simply the ones who get to tell it. On the ice or on the open water, each trip is a journey worth sharing as we strive to highlight our resources, but also respect them. From pike to panfish, trout, walleyes, and more. We traveled the region to bring you new content, real experiences, and hopefully a desire to venture off the ordinary path. Season 2 of Superior Angling starts now.
Upriver we go. Behind us is Boy Scout boat landing, and we are heading upriver. Kind of for this time of year, it's a little bit of an untraditional method. I know a lot of guys, especially since the flood on the St. Louis River here, stick to trolling. You know, downriver right here in Walleye Alley, in Spirit Lake, Arrowhead Flats, the harbor. The St. Louis River is mainly known for a trolling bite. But we're going to do a little bit something a little bit different here today. We are heading upriver above the Highway 23 bridge, and we're going to do some jigging.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna. I'm hoping there's still going to be fish up there. Our water temps are anywhere from 60 to 65. Later in the day, it really warms up with the sun. But right now, it's kind of the time where a lot of your fish are going to start funneling downriver, but there's still going to be some fish up above. So the Minnesota DNR, what they do is they block it off, so it's inaccessible to anglers for the first week of the Minnesota fishing season. So about 2 days ago now, it opened above the Highway 23 bridge. So now we can go up there and we can go after these walleyes that were once protected from the DNR. So a lot of the walleyes here on the river go up there to spawn. You're still going to have some fish that spawn in Spirit Lake and around these areas in the marshes, but I'd say, 70, 80, maybe even 90% of the walleyes will go up above the Highway 23 bridge and spawn. So right now we're going to head up there. It's shallow up there, so you gotta be careful, use caution, go slow. It's skinny water, but you can even get a big 22-foot boat like this up there and go after these fish. So I know you've been getting a few up there.
Oh yeah.
Shallow
really
water, 4, 5, 6, 7 feet.
Oh yeah.
Yep. Okay. All
Should
right.
have a good day here today.
Yeah. Jigs and minnows. We're gonna try some plastics. Ideally, they're gonna bite on plastics, but we have live bait as well in case they're not gonna go on plastics. So it's nice just to have both options in the boat in case the fish want something different. But let's make our way upriver here. We're just gonna take it slow and easy and try not to hit a rock. It should be good.
Right, yeah, let's have some fun. Right here, it's definitely one of those areas where you want to take it slow because we have trees coming. It's like 2, 3, 4 feet of water. So, but that's the nice part about a boat like this 219 Lund is we can be 50 miles out on Lake Superior, or we can be here in 1.5 feet, 2 feet of water. This boat can do it all. So just take it slow. And as a general rule, when you're coming up here on the river, stay left. Always stay on the Wisconsin shoreline because that's going to be the deepest parts. and it's kind of the route that you take to get up here. So.
This spring, shop the great selection of Lund and Crestliner fishing boats at RJ Sport and Cycle. Our knowledgeable staff is here to answer all your questions and help you get on the water. We sell both aluminum and fiberglass boats, suitable for a variety of applications. Full windshield models, side consoles, tillers, and more. We sell them all. Don't forget, we also carry pontoons. RJ Sport and Cycle is your leading Lund dealer in the area. Visit us in store or check us out online today.
Join us for the 33rd annual Jaws Derby Fishing Contest, brought to you by the Western Lake Superior Trollers Association. The event will be held out of Barker's Island in Superior, Wisconsin, June 1st through the 3rd. There will be 4 divisions, including the Richard Gondik Captain's Classic, with prizes for the top fish in the walleye, trout, and salmon category. For more information, check out the Western Lake Superior Trollers Association on Facebook.
You have 33 years of memories in this house. The most valuable things you will ever own. And that is why we exist. Holden Insurance, an official supplier of the Silver Lining. Offices in Duluth, Superior, Ashland, Spooner, and Hayward.
Fiercely independent. Earth Rider Brewery crafts beer with cold, clear Lake Superior water and premium hand-selected ingredients. Earth Rider brews on the Duluth Superior Harbor for Northlanders near the Greatest Lake. Find Earth Rider beer on tap or in cans from Ashland, Wisconsin to Two Harbors, Minnesota, and other points near Lake Superior. Earth Rider beer. Hold fast.
That didn't take too long, huh?
Didn't take long at all.
No, not long at all. They'd fight good in that current, huh? Ooh, he's a decent walleye. I want to get the. We might need the net.
We're not set up yet, but our net's still up there.
I think I get it. We'll handle it. Nice. 5, huh?
Yeah, that's a solid 25-inch fish. I mean, but I didn't even have my jig in the water yet. Look at that. That's a big fish.
First 5 minutes?
5 minutes, try 2.
Nice walleye there. Got a tag on the other side here. First minute and a half of fishing, huh?
That's a fish. Got him. He cracked her good. Oh yeah, that's a nice walleye.
Nice job.
I'm gonna hoist. It's a little big to hoist, but I'm gonna do it. Oh yeah. That's a good
start.
walleye there, huh?
Good start.
Man, he just spunked it. I was just kind of walking it back along the side of the boat. That's a nice walleye. That's a perfect St. Louis River meter, if you want to call it that. I mean, sure. 17, 18 inches. That's a great fish. Maybe we'll keep a few later in the day, but for now we're gonna let him go. But yeah, that's a good start. Not as big as the one you caught, bud, but that's a nice walleye. Yeah, sure. Isn't that fun? Cool. And our water temps right now are 60, 61. Sometimes the graph goes down to 59, but right now is the time of the year where once it gets 65 and getting 68, these fish are gonna kind of slide down river more. So, but for now they're up here and they're aggressive. Let's get her back. There she goes. Yeah, you can always, I mean, once they open it up above the 23 bridge here, fishing's usually good for what, week and a half, 2 weeks?
I'd say.
Yeah, and then, I mean, there are gonna be resident fish that live up here year round, but the majority of your fish are migratory in the St. Louis River here. So a lot of these fish live out in Lake Superior and they just come up here to spawn. So once those water temps, you know, inch towards 70 degrees, they're gonna head down the river into some cooler water and eventually make their way out into Lake Superior. So, but yeah, I mean, 60, 61 right now, and there's plenty of fish to be had. So this bite's gonna last for sure another week.
Yeah, I'd say a week
For sure another week. And you know, you're gonna have maybe your bigger size fish are gonna slide down and you'll have some smaller males left up here, but there's still gonna be fish to be caught up here for quite a while. All right, let's fish. There's a fish, coming. Got him.
Hey. So let me know if you need a net.
Man, just, you bounce it and then you feel a thunk, and you give it about 2 seconds and then it's fish on. Buddy, you wanna grab the net for me?
Yeah, I'll get the net
I
for
haven't
you,
seen it yet. I don't think it's huge, but just for insurance purposes. That's a nice walleye.
Oh, really nice walleye.
How fun is that, man? Holy cow, did it choke that jig too?
Solid fish there.
Isn't that? Man.
Nice white belly too.
Yep. So this is kind of, look at that, right in the tip of the snout, and that hook penetrated all the way through. He wasn't coming off, but that's why you want to give it, once you feel that initial thunk, you got to give it a couple seconds when you're using live bait. With plastics, no, but with live bait, you have to do that. That's a super healthy, solid 19-inch fish there. But you can see how white these bellies are. So to me, you know, this is a fish that probably lives out in Lake Superior a lot of its life, and it, you know, it migrates up here to spawn, drops, you know, does its stuff, and then slides back down the river. So just the genetics on this fish are super cool. Beautiful too. That's a good start. I mean, 3, 4, 5 fish, not in a very long period of time at all. And to catch that on a jigging stick is super fun. Down she goes. I mean, to catch that fish on a 8-foot trolling rod's fun, but to catch it on a 6'9" medium light Synchro Avid is the next level of fun. That is cool. Shallow water too, and in the current, these fish fight so hard and so strong.
They were just underneath the boat, and I cast it back 10 feet and must have slid back on us. It was a good fish though. Really good fish. Can't even move them, bud. Come on up. Let's see what you look like. Can't even move her right now.
That's a big walleye.
Yeah, it is. There she is right there. See some color. Oh yeah, it's a dandy. Oh yeah. This is over 25 easily, yeah. Got your net in your mouth too. That's a beauty, huh? They're a nice walleye. Got that jig just inhaled too. On the pop. He's kicking in. Yeah, so Grant was catching them, had a good run right behind the boat here, underneath the boat I should say. And then it went cold for a little bit, so I pitched it back about 10 feet, gave it 3 pops and just crunch. Another nice fish there. I guess that's a female. Not milking. Oh, look at that fish.
All right, fishing on the St. Louis River here. It's not a extremely technical approach, but there's a couple things that you can do to really help your success. And number one is using a braided line. You know, I always preach, you know, use braid, but when you're fishing on the river system, it's extra important. So this is Suffix 832 10-pound test, no stretch and thinner diameter. So out here on the river, you have current coming down. The thicker your line is, the more water resistance there's going to be, and it's going to bow it out. So essentially, you're not going to have as good of a feel to your jig. So using braid is going to cut through that water better, and it's going to give you extra sensitivity. And you also want a fluorocarbon leader for shock absorption. So I like kind of like a Berkeley Vantage 8-pound test. I prefer 8 over 6 just because there are some big fish out here, and if you're hooking 25, 30-inch fish in current, 6-pound test is just too light. So 8-pound test is definitely the way to go. And change out your leader often. You're bouncing down. It's very rocky down there. There's tons of rocks and logs and other debris that's going to weaken your line. So pay attention, because your line's going to get scuffed up. So about maybe every hour, hour and a half, I'm going to retie and put on new leader line, because it does get nicked, and you'll see that. So especially just when you're bouncing it down, your line's just banging off the rocks, and it does get weak very fast. So those are just a couple things you can do to you know, enable your success out here. I mean, yes, you can come out here with a jig and, you know, straight mono 10-pound test and catch fish. I'm not saying you're not going to, but you doing these things is going to help you put more fish in the boat.
As a Mahindra dealer, satisfied customers are really my best salespeople. I think it's great that 98% of Mahindra owners would recommend one to a neighbor.
I have recommended the Mahindra to lots of people, friends, everybody, because we are so happy with our Mahindra.
I highly recommend the world's #1 selling tractor, Mahindra.
It's summer again at Marine General, and we're here to get you on the water. Kayaks, canoes, and paddleboards, water sports, knee boards, wetsuits, ropes, and life vests, rain gear, marine safety, electronics of all kinds, rods and reels, trolling motors, rod holders, and all kinds of accessories for your boat, live bait, lures, and a crew that appreciates your business.
It's cold outside. Thick gloves kind of wet. But your house is nice and cozy because we're still out there. Anytime, any temp. Superior Fuel Company. Local, safe, honest. We offer price protection plans that put you first. For the right way to buy propane, call us and find out. Superior Fuel Company. You have our name on it.
Just moved back over here. Grant just released a nice one, and I got into a nice one right here. Oh, it feels like a heavy one. Oh yeah, really nice walleye. Look at that one, buddy. Get that ready. We just moved over a little bit. The fish dried up, and then we came back, and 2 right away. This is a nice one here. They're nice fish. Just made a little move and moved back to where we were getting them, and got 2 in a row. And he choked that one down too. Look at that. Yeah, nice fish there.
That's a fish. Got him. Good one. Oh, did he just thunk it? Yeah, that's a good one. A little big to be hoisted in the boat, but we did it. Look at that. Chartreuse jig right in the corner of the mouth. That's a nice St. Louis River walleye right there. Isn't that cool? How fun is that? Look at that. Got a little hump on his back there. Yeah, that's a cool, super cool fish. Again, really, really shallow water, 7 feet. So don't be afraid to jig in shallow water, because that's where these walleyes are on the St. Louis River. I mean, it's an extremely shallow fishery. So whether you're trolling or jigging, you're gonna be in shallow water, but don't be afraid of it. So isn't that a cool fish? Wow, let's get him back. Spunky, down they go. There's going to be a lot of rods that work for this scenario or this style of fishing, but what we prefer is a 6'9", medium light. This is the Avid X from St. Croix, fantastic all-around walleye rod. But you know, any rod's going to work, but we prefer to fish St. Croix because it's a family-owned local business that kind of encompasses all of what fishing is about. So tradition, legacy, local. I mean, that's totally St. Croix's brand image is local, handmade, right in Park Falls, Wisconsin. So they're not buying these blanks from overseas and putting guides on them and selling them. They're literally hand rolling the graphite in Park Falls. I mean, that's super, super cool and super special. So, you know, we love to support companies like that, and these rods definitely get the job done day in and day out. That's a fish. Nailed him. That's a good one. I haven't seen him yet. He thunked it good, and you set the hook on him, and my line just stopped. There's my leader, bud. Ready? There's current. It's tough. It's not easy. Ready? He is spunky, man. We're in such shallow water, and these fish are just so full of energy. They just don't have time to expel all their energy after you hook them. Look at that. Just a beautiful, that's a male, that's a nice male too. It's milking right now. It's crazy. There has to be fish still spawning up here. It's just bizarre. But that's why fishing's so good right now above the 23 bridge. It looks like he's almost been caught before, man. His mouth is a little messed up right there, which is why you practice catch and release, because it definitely pays off. Spunky. Man, isn't that fun? Just feeling a walleye hit your jig in 7 feet of water and using braided line it's exhilarating. I mean, it gets your heart going. It gets your heart going. But here's what I'm talking about. You know, your line gets so nicked up. I mean, it just breaks. And look at that. I mean, that's why you gotta constantly be retying, because you never know when you're gonna hook that 30-inch fish down there. I mean, it would snap that instantly. So you always gotta check out your leader and make sure it's good to go. Try to get in the habit of every 5 fish checking it, because it'll pay dividends. And our jig's getting beat up. It's extremely rocky down there. It's starting to lose color, but it doesn't really matter. As long as you have a jig touching bottom with some meat down there, you're gonna get bit. That's cool. That rain cloud kind of moved away. Now we have some sun. I mean, it's just kind of a little bit every kind of weather here today. It gets hot and then cold, but our water temps they're at 61, so it's warming up even more.
Fish on, boys.
There you go, bud. Need the net?
It's a tugger.
Yeah?
Oh boy.
Man, is this fun, hey?
Right, the current, they just pull in that current.
It's a good walleye.
Wow, he's not fall hooked either.
That's a good walleye.
Wow. There we go. Another nice one too.
It is. That's a gorgeous fish. Sun's starting to set. The winds are light. Getting into that golden hour.
Yeah, witching hour, you know.
Even though it's really dark and stained water, I mean, you're still gonna have an excellent bite, you know, 7 to 8 p.m. And that's exactly what we're experiencing right now. I mean, we travel around the whole Midwest in search of, you know, walleye bites, and here we are in our back door, you know, 10 minutes from home, and this is some world-class fishing. I mean, it's truly unbelievable.
Great fishery.
It is. It's just tons and tons of fish. I mean, no true monsters, but that could change in any given day.
They're here. We know it.
Oh, yeah, they're here. They're here, no doubt. Yeah, I mean, it's just fun that we have this available to us right here in Duluth. It's an awesome fishery. Cool, let's get her back.
That one back. Just release that one and drop back down and run again. Nice one too. Just threw that fish back, drop back down, and pow, another one, probably 18, milking. Oh, that's a male, barely hooked. Right in the snout. Nice fish there. Let that back, see if we can't do that again. Feels like a contender too.
Kind of boy.
Oh yeah, wow, that's a nice walleye there. Seen the boat?
Look at those big head shakes, man.
Seen the boat one right back down.
It's a good one.
That's a very nice fish. Come on, baby. Here she comes.
Buddy, look at that fish.
That's a nice one there.
That is a beauty. Holy cow. That's a male too.
Holy.
What a huge male.
Really big male.
Usually we don't see males this big. That's one of the bigger males I think I've ever seen.
Feisty too.
Jeez. Look at how gorgeous that fish is.
A really nice fish there.
Wow.
Egg right in the top too.
Look at that. What a way to end an awesome day on the river. And I mean, we didn't even fish that long. Like, we put the boat in at noon. So, I mean, this is just an example of how good fishing can be. So, and by no means did we, you know, do as good as you can do out here. I mean, we had a heck of a day, but you can do better even, you know? Wow. So that just goes to show you the awesome fishing we have available right here in Duluth. That's a heck of a walleye.
Yeah, look at the head on that thing.
And that's a male. Look how dark. That is so pretty. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, that's a beautiful fish there.
Wow. So guys, I mean, if you come up to the St. Louis River, leave the trolling gear back at home, bring your jig rods, just try something different, because you can come up here and catch walleyes like this and have a heck of a time. And it's just doing something different. It's fun, it's exciting, it's new, you know? Wow.
Yeah, it's a nice fish.
Super cool. From Busker and I, thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.